I'm gonna announce the person on the hot seat today is Omolayo Shokoya Ojo, a chartered accountant turned personal finance guru and the author of Balancing Act of Financial Freedom. So, welcome Omolayo. Shogun, please spotlight Omolayo and Annette will take over.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so thank you very much, Omolayo, for agreeing to be on the hot seat today. So the first question I'd like to ask you is introduce yourself and your business and what inspired you to start your business.
Okay, thank you. Ayo, do you have the slide yesterday, the one I sent over? If that could be shared as well. But let me introduce myself. My name is Omolayo Shukoya Ojo. I got married last year. That's why you got Ojo at the back of my name. I'm the CEO of Value Choice Limited. And Value Choice Limited is specialized in providing financial education to individuals. I became financially free, and through that financial freedom, I thought it's best for me to introduce myself to the world. Hence, I established Value Choice Limited. I'm also an author of the book, The Balancing Act of Financial Freedom, in which I have explained a simple 6-step framework on how to become financially free, helping individuals towards their financial freedom. I'm qualified by education. I'm a qualified accountant with the Chartered Institute of Public Finance, (CIFA), and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, ACCA. And I'm also qualified by experience. I've got over 20 years of financial experience working in the financial field. Hence, the reason I have thought the best thing for me is to offer what I've got to the world. And that's through Value Choice Limited and through my book.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your business journey. So what inspired you though to start your business?
All right, I'm going to say a little bit about my story. I worked with an organization called London Fire Brigade for over 15 years. And it was time to get promoted. An opportunity came up just to move up a higher level, the role I was at. Unfortunately, the job was put out for advert. It wasn't ring-fenced. I wasn't given that as an excuse anyway. But the job wasn't offered to me. And that really got to me. And I thought, well, if I've worked here for over 15 years and at a senior managerial role, and I can't still get a job here, then I don't think it's worth me staying here anymore. So when they said, sorry, we are not going to give you the job because somebody else did well than you, immediately, I didn't think twice. I just resigned. I said, sorry, take your job back. I'm not interested anymore. And that was the end. I resigned, and this job was about 70K. I didn't think twice. I just left it, and that was it. That got me thinking, because over the years, I had gradually prepared myself without thinking I was going to call on this. I had over the years prepared myself through property investment to become financially free. So I was able to leverage that quick decision, and then I was able to cope in that interim period of time before thinking about what next to do. Afterwards, I thought, okay, what next am I going to do? Then I thought about my journey. I said, well, I've done very well in terms of, getting ready for this point in time, even though I didn't plan for it. Eventually, I decided, okay, the best thing is to be an employer of labor and not an employee anymore. I'm done with being an employee. I need to be an employer of labor. So that's what inspired me to create Value Choice Limited and also to write my book, The Balancing Act of Financial Freedom.
Okay, thank you. And if you look online now, you can see a slide that shows her book, and there's a QR code there. So if you want to scan that QR code to be able to order a copy of your book. Okay, so so when you're a business owner, life doesn't go, it's not always smooth sailing. So what's your biggest challenge that you faced in your business, and how did you go around solving that challenge?
Well, I'm somebody who preempts a lot. I think ahead. I knew that working as an employee, I needed a mindset shift. So I decided I can't become an employer from the mindset that I'm coming from, having over 20 years of experience of being an employee. As a result, I knew that this is a problem that needs to be resolved before I can proceed forward. So what did I do? I employed the service of a coach. And that coach is the person, Ayo Benson. I employed his service. Anyway, I spent about I spent I spent 12 good months with Ayo Benson in order to change my mindset shift. And that is a game changer for me. I preempted the problem and I looked for the solution to solve it. And that was just it for me in solving that problem. So I employed a coach in order to change the mindset, just to get me ready for the world that I'm entering into.
Thank you very much. So you've written your book, but besides your book, books shape us into who we are. So hence the reason why you've written your book, so that you can encourage others in terms of financial freedom. If I was to ask you one book that has changed who you are now, so you talked about mindset, and we know Aya's written a book that's shifted quite a lot of us in terms of mindset. So besides your book and Aya's book, are there any other books you would recommend that has shifted your mindset or
Well,
helped you in terms of success?
in terms of success, a lot of books have shifted my mindset, but the book I'm going to focus on today is still my book, The Balancing Act of Financial Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing about this book is the acronym on it, Love Yourself. Even though this is a financial book, the L part of it, learn to manage your finance, and the other aspect of the book, Love Yourself, focused on other aspects of my life, the holistic aspect that has got me ready for the challenges of life. A lot of book has shaped me today, but definitely I would recommend The Balancing Act of Financial Freedom to help other people, because that captures my experience, my journey, and what I have done well to prepare me for the challenges that came my way.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. So when we go through life, when we're traveling down the road, one of the things we see are these billboards, yeah? So if you was to display a billboard message to help others, what words would you want to have on that billboard?
I would say make sure you do your due diligence before going online to employ any service. That's what I would say, because I've learned a lot of lessons, not once, twice, where I have gone online, searched for a service, and unfortunately, they put in a lot of reviews, which are probably fake. I try to do some due diligence and go for it, but unfortunately, there's no substance behind the services being offered online. So I would suggest don't just go online. Make sure, if possible, get referrals before you employ any service, because the case, in fact, I've got a major legal case that has cost me dearly. But thankfully, thank God, I serve a living God. Thank God, I eventually find somebody who introduced me to another lawyer who now turned the case around, and we are almost getting to a stage whereby everything is working okay. And fingers crossed, I'll be able to get all my money back. So I would say don't just go online and look for service. It's very risky. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the final question I'd like to share with you today is, as a business owner, there's times when we feel overwhelmed or unfocused. So what steps do you take to help you to maintain clarity and to help you with your daily routines?
In terms of steps, I take a lot of steps. So if I'm overwhelmed, what I normally do is probably go out and take fresh air. That's very key for me. Take a lot of fresh air and just read and come back in. Sometimes I like dancing. I can put on praise music and just be dancing and just do something different outside of that business. I just switch off from that business, take a break and switch off from that and just, do something different and
Mhm.
take a fresh air and make me, just relax, go away from what I'm doing if it's getting too much, and then come back to it. So I'll say that's the simple steps I take.
Okay, thank you so much for being on our hot seat today. Right, we've got a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions that they would like to ask, if you can put your hand up in terms of either physical hand up, or if you want to put your hand up in terms of reaction. If there's any questions that you would like to ask Omolayo, we've got literally 2 minutes left.
So we've got one hand up from Chine. Okay, we've got quite a number of them.
Okay, so
But Omolayo, you duck from pronouncing that name. Generation, that's Clement. Clement, please ask your question. You're muted.
Okay, sorry, my camera is gonna be off because I just have to switch device. My phone just went off right now. I just have to switch to the next second device, and that second device, the camera is not work, please. Okay. So, I listened to everything you said so far, but there was one key thing that was striking for me when you said you worked for 15 years and then you decided to leave the job because you were not offered a particular promotion, and then coming back to think that you need to start up a business. So the question I'm going to ask you, um, what are the things that you think, based on your experience in that 15 years, which you can advise a new, maybe beginner or someone who is looking to get into the field of accounting as a business and maybe is still struggling in the, it might not be for me, this question might not be for me, it might be for someone else who is listening right now. And then the person is in between trying to think, should I get into the business of accounting as a business or should I just remain an employee? So what exactly are the advice that you can give the person that you think that can help that particular person to take that definite decision, which might be a life-changing one? Thank you.
Okay. I think I hear the question a little bit. Well, I'll answer the last one, which I heard. You have to understand that I have prepared myself well ahead before resigning. So I wouldn't encourage somebody to just go and resign without having a backup plan. I had over the years, through savings, through equity release from property, little by little, started investing in properties that was able to replace my income. So you need to have a backup plan before you leave your job. Don't just leave your job. In terms of having the business as an accountant, we have different qualifications for accounting. Either you're going through ACCA route or through SIPFA route, whatever route you're trying to go through, you need to have a kind of a qualification in place to become a qualified accountant. That needs to be in place. So all that I have gradually gone through that as well. So as an accountant, you need to have that qualification in place. I'm not sure if that answers the question. I didn't hear the other part of the question properly, but hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. I will, maybe after here, I will need to have a private meeting with you. We need to talk.
Okay.
Any other question? Clive.
Hey, Omolayo, how you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for your lovely presentation. I had a load of questions, but you very eloquently answered them during your little talk there, and I did just. I mean, last time we spoke, you didn't have your book on audio, and I've just seen it's on audio now, so I've just bought it, and so I'll be listening to that in my car. But the question I've got for you is about writing the book. So you've created your financial freedom and said, right, I'm going to write a book. How easy did that come? Did you just sit down and start writing, or did you? Because I'm in the process of starting myself, and my office wall is going to start looking like a patchwork quilt with large sticky pads and all sorts of crazy ideas I'm putting over. Did you have like a flow of what you wanted to say, or did you start? How did you start, and how did it shift as you kind of began writing?
That's a good question. You have to understand that I have been procrastinating about writing this book for a long time. And then eventually, I think resigning actually gave me the time and the focus. Because the employment side of things has gone away. That meant that I have the time and the focus to actually focus on writing the book. After resigning, it then took me 12 good months to actually put the book in place. And I started with chapters by chapters, reviewing each section one by one, because it took me a while to come to my initiative framework of deploy. Deploy, for example, stands for debt review, examination of income and expenditure, planning, leakages, observation, years ahead. So it took me a lot of thinking to come to that framework. And that framework is all you need to become financially free, to help your journey as an individual. So I would say having not been distracted with other activity like other employment, I was able to focus and just write a book in 12 months. And I started with little by little, step by step to come back to a whole book. That was what happened.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Okay.
oh,
I think we're done with questions. Thank you, Ruth, for thank you, Annette. Thank you, Annette, for leading the hot seat, and thank you, Omolayo, for accepting to be on the hot seat.
Thank you.
I'll say to people that uh, this book, I've read it. I've read it more than once, more than three times. Actually, I was involved in the process of writing the book with Omolayo, as she was coaching with me at the time. That's one of the best book on personal finance you can find, because she's not just a chartered accountant, but she's actually got some wisdom included in the book. It's not just about money, it's about health, it's about decision making, it's about life in general. She's a long-term thinker, as she just said. There is so much sense, so much wisdom in that book. So if you haven't got it, it's in audio and it's in paperback. So go grab it. Uh, in terms of growth mindset, Omla is one of the most coachable clients I've ever met. And for 1 year, she didn't miss a session, and she was never late once. So that tells you something about her. So if you're gonna learn from anyone, learn from someone who thinks long term. So thank you, Omla, once again.